is East New York Avenue and Schenectady Avenue. Please exit through the rear door. This stop is Torrey Avenue and East New York Avenue.
See the pattern? Thank you. Have a good night. Appreciate it. Oh yeah. I gotta laugh. You gonna see all that when they walked towards me. You see, they start looking down at the look, putting her hands over her stomach, like I said. Right? What did I say? What did I say? Let me tell you. When I talk, yeah, I know you're bad. When I talk about all of their tactics and methods. They've done it many times, and I've studied it. Right? I've observed what it is that they do, how they do it, in the manner in which they do it. Whereas, before you couldn't, these things you can't see it. You either have to, somebody have to teach it to you in order for you to see it, or you come into some form of awakening based off of the trauma that they've caused you, right? That you woke up, right? Or somebody, pull you out of the matrix. You got unplugged. Okay, and it's it's as Bobby Hemmett says, The Matrix is one of the most profound movies, right? But that concept and idea came out of the minds of who? A black woman, right? So, I always say whenever they try to run this narrative about hating black women, it's because they know what they've done to the minds of black women, right? And black men cannot hold them accountable because they don't hold themselves accountable. And when you look at it, when you look at the white community, look, you pointed. You look at the, the Jewish community. Got to point right back at them too. You look at their community, right? Their women are, conform to the men. Their women accept their role as mothers, as wives, as women, as daughters, as aunts, and so forth. All right, you look at the white community, and white women start to, particularly in the poor areas, and white women start to get out of hand, meaning that when they get on social media and, engage in a whole bunch of foolishness, the men and other women in their community, they're like, no, you can't do that. You can't do that, right? So you will always find a few of them, right? You look in the Arab community, their women don't behave like that in mass. When you look at the black community, right, how our women behave, right? And they're being hurt by that behavior, and they don't understand it. When they're all tatted up as it's some sort of, again, because it's trendy, they have these big tattoos, right? And, when you're young, it's fine, it's fine. But as you get older, then you start to realize, I want a husband, right? You're looking for men in a certain tax bracket. Those men are not looking for you, right? So those men are not looking for you. Those men are not looking for women who are overweight, tattooed up. And I say that not, and you don't misconstrue me when I say that is hate. It's not hate, it's the reality, it's the fact. And the fact is that 4 out of 5 black women in the black community are overweight. Right? And black women love to make all these excuses. Well, the BMI. I always say, black men and black women, we are in the same situation. Right? But our women and the minds of women in general are easily manipulated because of, particularly when, I always say this, go and look at the research that they do in times of war. They do research on how women behave, right? Go look at that. Women are, it's scary, right? It really is scary. But that's the nature of women. Women are very conniving, catty, manipulative also. That's part of their nature. Now, if we teach them that, then they can keep those things in check. Just like men will chase after every skirt. But if you teach them that it's in their nature, and they need to understand that is something that you can't do because there are serious consequences to those things. You give them the information and the knowledge, they'll make better decisions. When you're not telling young people these things of who they are, not just as a black person, but as men and women, of the male psychology, the female psychology, the biological difference, the psychological difference, the chemical differences, right? Then you have women saying stupid shit like, well, I can do what a man can do, to a certain extent. But there are things that a man can't do that you can't do, right? Be it biology, psychology, physically, right? There's certain things that you just can't do because it's in your nature not to want to do certain things, But when you are being forced to do it because, they make it trendy for you, then what they do, particularly our women, is that they take the femininity out of them. Just like how they've taken the motherhood out of them. Just like they've taken the wife concept out of them, right? It is something that they do in our community to our people. It is something that they perpetrate and orchestrate because ultimately our dysfunction is something that they profit off of, something that they capitalize on, right? And we are very creative people, so when black people, with this dysfunctional mindset that we have, we get very creative, right? We create shit, right? And what they'll do is they'll take what we create and they will weaponize it. We're still being exploited. We're still being used. You gotta understand that, all right? Talk to you guys in the next video.